I'm Luke Summerhays, and I love Zigzagoon. The tanuki is a small mammal common in Japan. Sometimes called the raccoon dog, it superficially resembles a western raccoon, and fills a similar niche in the ecosystem, as a forager and scavenger. On top of that, in Japanese culture, much like the kitsune, there are countless myths of the tanuki's powers and trickeries. While the kitsune, or fox, has been translated into many different Pokemon, which take on the various magical powers seen in mythology, the tanuki is more associated with the Mario series than with Pokemon. The mischievous, sometimes downright evil, tricks, the transformations, and the other magical abilities are nowhere to be seen really in Pokemon's tanuki, Zigzagoon. Zigzagoon is an adorable little raccoon or tanuki creature, with the dark eye patch and the dexterous little paws. Like a real-life tanuki, raccoon, badger, or any other scavenging mammal seen in human cities, it dashes this way and that, eating whatever it can find. This zigzag motion is where the name comes from. The Japanese name, Jiguzaguma, may also combine araguma, raccoon, and anaguma, badger, with zigzag. Alternatively, the Ji at the start of the name may refer to Jizo, a Buddhist deity whose statues appear everywhere in Japan as guardians of children and travelers. Many tanuki stories see them turning into these statues and monks. This power is even an ability of the tanuki suit in Super Mario Bros. 3. Pokemon Ruby tells us, Zigzagoon restlessly wanders everywhere at all times. This Pokemon does so because it is very curious. It becomes interested in anything that it happens to see. And Pokemon Sapphire tells us, the hair on Zigzagoon's back is bristly. It rubs the hard back hair against trees to leave its territorial markings. This Pokemon may play dead to fool foes in battle. Playing dead to get into people's houses and trick them is a classic tanuki move. And Pokemon Emerald tells us, rubbing its nose against the ground, it always wanders about back and forth in search of something. It is distinguished by the zigzag footprints it leaves. In the 8th generation Sword and Shield games, we met Galarian Zigzagoon. Zigzagoons in the UK-based Galar region resemble British badgers, with their black and white coloration and more aggressive behaviour. Pokemon Sword tells us, its restlessness has it constantly running around. If it sees another Pokemon, it will purposely run into them in order to start a fight. And Pokemon Shield tells us, thought to be the oldest form of Zigzagoon, it moves in zigzags and wreaks havoc upon the surroundings. The funky patterns in its fur also somewhat resemble a punk or rock and roll outfit, though we'll have much more on that later. At level 20, Zigzagoons in both regions evolve into Linoon. Sleeker and smoother, Linoon resembles a badger much more than a raccoon or tanuki. Badgers will come right at you. I know this as someone who's been chased down many a country lane on a dark night in England. Linoon, similarly, is so named because instead of zigzagging, it now sprints forward in a straight line like the Juggernaut. The Japanese name is the same. Masugumu combines Masugu, which means straight line, and Arigumu or Anagumu. Pokemon Ruby tells us, Linoon always runs full speed and only in straight lines. If facing an obstacle, it makes a right-angle turn to evade it. This Pokemon is very challenged by gently curving roads. Pokemon Sapphire says, when hunting, Linoon will make a beeline straight for the prey at a full run. While this Pokemon is capable of topping 60 miles per hour, it has to come to a screeching halt before it can turn. Pokemon Sword and Shield tell us, its fur is strong and supple. Shaving brushes made with shed Linoon hairs are highly prized. It uses its explosive speed and razor-sharp claws to bring down prey. Linoon had a pretty effective combat role, using the move Belly Drum. with which it sacrificed a little health in exchange for a big stat boost. Combined with already tasty speed, this made Linoon a bit of a killer. It's also reminiscent of the Tanuki, which is famous for patting its belly as part of its many magical spells. Of course, Sword and Shield also gave us a Galarian Linoon. It takes the black and white rock and roll colour scheme and the dark typing of Galarian Zigzagoon and adds a lolloping pink tongue that permanently hangs from its mouth like a hungry dog, or indeed, like a Gene Simmons. Pokemon Sword and Shield tell us, it uses its long tongue to taunt opponents. Once the opposition is enraged, this Pokemon hurls itself at the opponent, tackling them forcefully. This very aggressive Pokemon will recklessly challenge opponents stronger than itself. For the original Hoenn Linoon, that was the end of the line. In Galar, however, Galarian Linoon evolves into Obstagoon when leveled up at night from level 35. Obstagoon stands up and takes on a more anthropomorphic form. With the shaggy fur on its shoulders and feet as boots and a vest, along with the star-like colour pattern and the long tongue, it strongly resembles a member of the band Kiss, taking elements from Paul Stanley's Starchild, Gene Simmons' Demon, and definitely the Catman and the Fox. Gene Simmons even spoke to Newsweek on the subject. Pokemon has been a part of our household for decades, ever since our kids first discovered them, he said. And to see Pokemon pay homage to Kiss is flattering. Well, at least we're not going to have another Uri Geller situation on our fans when Gene Simmons tries to sue Pokemon. We don't get an Obstagoon card for 20 years. Obstagoon is an obstinate raccoon which makes an obstacle of itself, and the Japanese name, Tachifusaguma, comes from the Japanese word Tachifusagu, which means to block. Pokemon Sword tells us its voice is staggering in volume. Obstagoon has a tendency to take on a threatening posture and shout. This move is known as Obstruct. And Pokemon Shield tells us it evolved after many numerous fights. While crossing its arms, it lets out a shout that would make any opponent flinch. Whether they're performing mischief in ancient Japanese folklore, stealing old chicken bones from trash cans, or scaring tipsy teenagers in English countryside towns, raccoons, badgers, and tanukis are great little creatures. Throw in some incredibly extra glam rock, and you've got a great Pokemon. Music for Luke Loves Pokemon was composed by Jonathan Cromie. Artwork for the show is by Katie Groves. Galarian Zigzagoon, Linoon, and Obstagoon were designed by James Turner. If you've enjoyed this podcast and want to help keep it online, please consider supporting at patreon.com/podcastio-podcastius. While you're there, why not check out the other podcasts me and my pals create? I also love it when listeners get in touch. Hit me up on Twitter or Facebook at LukeLovesPKMN. I want to hear why you love these monsters, whether it's a Pokemon we've already covered, or one that's coming up. Next up are Wurmple and Lotad, so please let me know your thoughts on those. I love Zigzagoon. And remember, I love you too.